Hello everyone, my name is Shilpa Kakkar. I'm from M.B.Patel English Medium Secondary and Higher Secondary School. Today, I have come up with lesson number 4 of Flamingo of Standard 12. The name of the lesson is Rattrap. It is written by Selma Lagerlof. Selma Lagerlof was a Swedish writer whose stories have been translated into many languages. This story is set in the middle of the mines of Sweden, which are rich in iron ore. The story is narrated in the manner of a fairy tale. It gives us the message that the emotions of love and acceptance can reform others. This is very right. The message is very true. We can change the person with love and acceptance. Here, same thing happens with the protagonist of the story. Let us first know the characters of the story. Peddler with rat traps. Peddler is a person who usually sells small things. This man was a beggar, but he was selling small rat traps made of wire. Another character in the story is Old Man, a crofter, the person who gives shelter to this peddler. Master Smith in Ramsjo Iron Mill in Sweden. Helpers in the mill, blacksmiths. Iron mill owner, Edla Wilmanson, daughter of the iron mill owner, the person who changed the heart of the peddler with her love and kindness. The benevolence of the person changes the mind, the heart of the person. Let us know the story. Let us know the summary of the rat trap. The rat trap is a story about a rat trap seller who leads a very poor life as his earnings were very low. He was very poor. He has to resort to thievery and begging to make both ends. It was very difficult for him to have food once in a day. So obviously, he had to beg. With that, he used to make small rat traps. These rat traps were made up of wire. It was done by him during his free time. He used to collect small wires from the roadside and used to make these small rat traps and sell. When you all know that a person, when he is free, he thinks about so many things. He was alone in the entire world and leads a miserable life. As you all know, when a person is alone, have no one to talk with, he talks to himself. We have ourselves have experienced this, that when we are alone, we start knitting some thoughts. So does he. As he starts knitting up the various kinds of thoughts, one of these thoughts is of supposing the whole world as a big rat trap. His views are that the world offers us a various types of baits in the form of comfort of life. Bait means attraction. We have different types of attraction in life. So as we get attracted, we fall prey to it. So in return, traps us into the rat trap of the world and leads us to various types of miseries. We have many things, many attractions in front of us in our life. And we get attracted. We cannot control ourselves. So he thinks about the same thing. That world has many things to give us, to show us, to allure us, and thus we fall prey. Every night, the paddler had to search for shelter. As you all know, he has no home. One evening, he was offered shelter by an old crofter. The old man allowed him in for the night. He was such a good man that he served him fresh food, that is, porridge. After having meal together, both of them enjoyed tobacco. And in order to entertain this peddler, both of them played cards. So, from this thing, we can say that the whole old man was a wonderful person, a very, very good person, kind person, the benevolent man which he had come across. This man was so innocent that he very honestly shared with him his earn earnings, his livelihood, how he was earning, what he was doing in the past, where was he working, and now what is he doing. So he shares with him that how he sells the milk of the cow and earns the money, how much he has saved. He showed him his saving, which was hung in a bag on the window pane. He showed him 30 kronas. He kept it back where he took it from, and both of them went to bed. Next day, early in the morning, the old man, the crofter, had to go to milk his cow. So he got up early to leave his house. The peddler thought that it is not right to stay back. So he also got up with him, and both of them left the house together. After some time, peddler came back to Crofter's house, smashed at the window where 30 kroners were hung, took that, stole that money, and put back that bag to the same place and left. To safeguard himself, the peddler chose the forest way. He changed his way so that he could escape if the crofter comes to know and follows him. So, as he was moving forward, he got lost in the forest. As the time was nearing of the evening, he could not find the way out of the forest. He was searching out, and suddenly he understood that he was caught in the rat trap. In this trap, from which it is difficult for a person to get out. He tried very hard. He was very tired. He could not walk, but he kept on moving. At a distance, he heard the thumping sound, and as he moved towards the thumping sound, he reached to the factory. As later on he finds a way to a forge, he takes shelter over there. The mill owner was not there, only two blacksmiths were there, those who were wearing their own clothes, shoes, and thumping at the hot iron. He did not talk to them. He just asked for the shelter. Both of them did not mind allowing him to stay for the night. After some time, the ironmaster comes and see him sleeping on the floor with his hat on his face. This ironmaster mistook him because it was dark and this man had a beard and he was shabbily dressed. The ironmaster mistook him as Captain Stell and invites him to his house. The poor peddler rejects the offer due to the fear of being caught. He knew that ironmaster has mistaken him, but he did not give any explanation. He did not say anything because he was very tired and he wanted to sleep a peaceful sleep. After some time, ironmaster left. This man again went back to sleep, and to his surprise, few moments later, he heard a lady who invites him to her house. She was ironmaster's daughter, Edla Wilminson. She comes to the factory and very forcefully she took him to her house. Peddler could not say anything to her. There was some instinct in her that he could not deny her. She came up with Vele and took him to the house. The next morning, Vele makes him a clean-shaved, neat, and a tidy gentleman. Edla gave him the best suit of his father and he wears it. As soon as he comes to the breakfast table, he knew that he will be recognized. And as soon as ironmaster saw him, he understood and asked him to leave. As he came to know that this is not the man, the peddler also was ready to leave. But Edla did not allow him to leave. She went against the will of her father and pleaded her father to stay him back as it was Christmas. They have only invited him to enjoy Christmas and have good meal with them, as both of them were alone. So, as Edla remained adamant, her father had to allow Peddler to stay back for Christmas. He is somehow stopped by Edla and he stayed there, had good meal and went to the room. Entire day he did not come out of his room. He kept on sleeping in the room. He did not even wake up for dinner. When Edla invited him to join to church, he denied, and after having his meal, he again went to bed. The next day, after Christmas in the morning, when Ironmaster and his daughter visit the church, they came to know that the man is a thief who had stolen money from the old crofter. It was shocking news for them. Edla felt very bad that she went against the will of her father and allowed him to stay back to her house. Now both of them were worried. They hurried towards their house, and on the way they were thinking that what all not things were stolen by this man, as he was alone at home. The ironmaster and his daughter repent for sheltering a thief. They thought that he would have stolen so many things by that time. But here comes a surprise in the story, a twist in the story. Instead of stealing, the peddler gives the ironmaster's daughter a rat trap. She finds a letter of thanks and the stolen money inside the trap. The peddler thanks Edla for her kindness and requests her to return the stolen money to the crofter. This is the power of love. This is the power of acceptance. This is the power. This story gives us the message that goodness in a human being can be awakened at any time with your own good deeds. The love, the care of Edla changed the heart of Peddler. Students, with this explanation, I have given the word and meanings of the lesson. While reading, if you find any word which you do not understand, the meanings are attached with these slides. Read the lesson, understand the word and meanings, and understand the story in a better way. These are the few questions which you can refer and prepare for your exams. Hope the story is clear to you? Thank you.